Hi there, it's Linda here. Thanks for joining me today as I play with these goodies. You can see I have the beautiful new penny black slapstick cling stamp set called Garden Gems, and I absolutely love this Stampendous set called Big Words, Thanks. So today I wanted to use all my little Altenew mini ink cubes, and I wanted to get a watercolory sort of effect. I know I could have used my distress inks, but it was the Altenew inks that I wanted to play with. So I've got my little trays out and I'm going to be using those colours today over and over, lots and lots of layers. My MISTI comes in very handy to get the job done. So first of all, just working out where I'm going to position my stamp, and I'm conditioning it here, just rinsing it with water and giving it a good rub off with my chamois, and that will just sort of rub off any residue and get it ready for its first inking. So today I'm hoping for a pinky, purpley, large flower. So I'm starting off, I'll list the colours, or I'll show you the little lid so you can tell what I'm using. And each time I'm adding a little bit of water from my spray bottle, because as I said, I'm trying to get that watercolory effect with the Altenew inks. So using a sponge dauber at times to get the ink exactly where I want it on the red rubber stamp, and that just makes it easier to get into those spots. Again, using my little mini mister and wetting the ink just so it's got a little bit more movement and doesn't dry too quickly. So going around the edges here, just getting a bit more definition around the outline of this big flower. And then starting to add my purple layer. Midnight Violet here, just around those edges where there might be some shadows and some deeper colours. And as far as sponge daubers go, I kind of have a bit of a pack of them, and I just tend to have one or two for the different colour families. I do not have a sponge dauber for every ink, that is for sure. So rubbing off with my chamois between each colour, and now going to add a little bit of yellow just in the centre there, hoping to get a bit of an orangey tone to my centre. And as I said, it's just wonderful using the MISTI for this technique. You can just keep going in over and over again and building up the colours that you want. And that's exactly what I do until I'm happy with the way things look. And then I'll move on to the leaves and the smaller flowers until I've completed the whole stamp. So you saw me then adding a bit of water from the mini mister straight on to my cardstock, and you'll see it now just sort of moving that colour a little bit more, because I really do want a watery sort of look. I don't want it to be just a straight ink look. So got to sort of get that balance between the wetness but not being too wet, and just moving my way around now using the Altenew inks and colouring up those leaves. I was looking for the bright colours. I love the Parrot and the Bamboo, and mixing some of the yellows with those as well, just to lighten things up. So I'll let you just watch the process now. It does take me a little while to work my way through adding all the colours, deepening things up and lightening things off. But I am very happy with the end result. But I do come in after all my inking. I do come in with my Prismacolor pencils, which is something I haven't done for a long while, but just to add a little bit of definition into the centre of the flowers. So join me again when we get to that part of the process. Okay, so all my inking is finished and I'm just going to add some splatters before I get the Prismacolors out. So first of all, I've got Parrot ink. I've smushed it onto a little acrylic block, mixed it up with some water from my mini mister, and then just splattering it on with a fine tipped paintbrush, giving it a bit of a dry off with the heat tool before I then move on to the Rubellite ink. Same thing, making a little pool of it on my acrylic block and splattering it on, and then I do the same with the lighter pink diamond ink as well. Okay, so now it's time for the Prismacolor details. So just testing the colour on a little bit of scrap in my notepad there, and just working from where I think there would be some deeper shadows and deeper colours on the petals, because with the watercolouring, adding the layers on top of each other and lots of water and continually adding more and more, you do tend to lose a bit of the definition, and that's one of the lovely things about watercolour, is that it's mushy and smooshy and pretty and gentle. But I just felt that the middle of the flowers particularly could do with a little bit more form and structure. So the Prismacolors are great for that. You can find pretty much, if you've got a set with a few colours, you can pretty much match up a colour with your inks and just come back in and with a light hand just add those little details, and it's pretty quick, pretty easy, and I'm certainly no artist, and it turned out really quite nicely. The finished product is quite pretty, so you certainly don't have to have any artistic talent of any great variety to be able to achieve this look. Isn't it funny that I needed to have the flower turned around to that angle to do this job? Just worked better for me. And I'm just looking at the picture that's on the back of the stamp set, that penny black Garden Gem stamp set, I think that's what it's called. Let me check. Yes. So on the back of the Garden Gem stamp set there is a coloured illustration of the stamp, and I've turned it to the same angle as that, and I'm adding the depth where I see the depth in the picture on the stamp. So as I said, anyone can do it. And it's time for my sentiment. So putting the black foam layer back in my MISTI, because I've just got the normal acrylic cling stamps now for the sentiment, and I'm going to use that beautiful big U. I just love that font, and working out what can go with it. There's lots of different options, and I think I'll put Missing You. I'll send it to my darling daughter who moved out of home this year and lives about 16-hour drive away. Only a couple of hour plane flight, but yes, I think I'll send it to her. We'll be catching up with her soon. So there we go, stamping it with the VersaFine ONYX black ink, always fabulous for sentiments. Stamping it twice to get it nice and crisp. And with the addition of some black and white striped paper, some sequins and some black enamel dots in the centre of the flowers, my card is complete.